Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome here to day number 4 at the GWA Wingfoiling World Tour event in Dakhla, Morocco. The conditions are coming a little bit light today, but now that wind, that northeasterly wind is coming through. I can see the northwesterly swell is starting to hit, and as that tide is just pushing out, it looks like we've got a few rollers. But before we get into the action out on the water, let's have a quick recap of what went on yesterday. What a day 2 here at the GWA Wingfoiling World Cup in Dakhla, and just look at that sunset to end it off. There is fire in the sky. Started off at round 3, made it all the way through to the semi-finals of the men that will start tomorrow, and all the way through to the finals and the mini-finals of the ladies. Let's run back. Highlights of the men. We have to start off with Jerome Clertons. Mixed his fall up with his wing starting off and had to compete completely. Was pretty much only half of his wing work in there, making it through to the future rounds. Also, we have to make a stand out for Malo Grenolet. This young kid, the gong rider, has been pushing all the way through and making the first big surprise of the event, going past Titouan Galea, our #1 seed. But then also the Bouyer brothers, both Julien and Camille, pushing all the way through, getting past Grenolet and also making a place for them into the semi-finals. Then it comes down to the surfing, the Brazilian Miso. Let's not forget, today we changed up the format and it was only surfing out there. 2 top best wave scores out of 10 attempts, and that's what the guys and the girls have to be throwing down. And at the moment, tomorrow we will be starting with the men's semi-finals. Moving over to the ladies, Fiona Wylde, Paula Novotna and Bowien van der Linden have been trading places throughout the whole competition. We've seen the 3 times world champion on the SUP discipline coming into the wingfoiling tour all the way from Oregon down in the US of A, and you can see she knows what it is to surf out there on the waves, gaining a place into the big final. Also joining her, Bowien van der Linden, taking the highest wave score of the competition and the highest combined heat score of the competition, is going to be joining Fiona in that grand finale. Then it is going to be Paula Novotna in the mini-final and Orane Ceris also in that mini-final. So much action out here on day number 2 in Dakhla, and tomorrow it looks like we are going to be starting off with some more surfing action as the waves are there, and maybe a little bit of racing. And welcome back, everybody. So it is action out there on the water for the semi-final #1 of the men of the GWA Wingfoil World Cup here in Morocco. If you are just joining us, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on what part of the globe you are out there. So starting off, we are going to have Camille Bouyer is going to be going up against Hugo Marin, and both of those guys are already out there. At the moment, it looks like Camille has a slight lead over Hugo, so let's go to the water and see the action for the semi-final #1. Hugo a little twigged out, toe side air. Signature move, that one for this young man. Coming all the way from France, F1 rider, dropping in at the moment, has a 6.03 for the first wave, and now looking to get a backup score or maybe improve that one. Let's not forget, the name of the game is surfing. So what it happens out there is they have 10 wave attempts, and the top 2 waves are the ones that are going to get the points and get the kudos from our judges. In the water there we can see Hugo Marin from France ripping it up on this very nice point break, or opening all the way down to the very bottom of the competition area. Okay, nice wave there for Hugo. So let's see what kind of scores. At the moment, Camille has a 7.37 and a 5.07. Hugo has a 6.03 and waiting for numbers to be dropped on that last wave. What a beautiful location we have here in Dakhla in front of the West Point Hotel. One of the longest right-hand waves in the Atlantic, and it has 3 really good sections for our riders to go up and destroy it. Top section right up near the rocks is a little bit hollower, flattens out, hits the second sandbank, and allows the guys, if they can, to link that together and be able to come down all the way to in front of the judge tower, where the little shore break sometime hollows out very nicely, and we've even been seeing some of the rides hit some airs on that section. At the moment, it is semi-final number 1. What is going to happen here down in Dakhla as we are getting to the final rounds of the surf freestyle? We started off day number 1 with surf and freestyle mix, so 2 waves and 1 freestyle maneuver was what was counted. But then as the wind has been a little lighter, we've gone over to pure surfing. So at the moment, the top 2 wave scores, so out of 20.00 for that perfect double 10. That is what the riders are going to be looking for. And right now, at the moment, here we can see Camille dropping in on a very nice looking wave. Mixing it up, going front side. So here we can see the regular foot rider back to the foam ball. Little bit of a wobble there, better turn. Having to pump a bit there. Keeping it busy, making sure that he stays close to the whitewater, because it is this section where it does kind of flatten off. And what riders are looking for is to be able to link all those different sections all the way down the old point break here. And judges really liking what they're seeing so far, because the 737 there for Camille and a 5.05, and then Hugo has a 6.03 and a 6.7. Okay, so both of the riders still at the moment very close in between these two, 13.17 and 12.73. Camille Bouyer having a slight advantage over Hugo Marin with that 7.37, the best score of this heat so far. Okay, just coming on just a little bit over 6 minutes on the clock. And there we can see perfectly the scores, 13.70 and a 12.73. Very close in between these riders, good friends on and off the water. And one of the Bouyer brothers looking to make his way into the grand finale to see if in that second semi-final when his other brother, Julien, will we see
a brothers final, or will we see Miso and Hugo Marin? We will soon find out. Very close at the moment, semi-final number 2. Wind has taken its time to come in today here at Dakhla for day number 3. But excited to see the action out there. The tide's just right. And hopefully as it goes out just a little bit, we'll be able to see some better waves coming through. Interval's quite good at the moment. Really nice little right-handers rolling in. Is probably about 6 to 7 minutes for each set. So you're looking at around 2 to 3 sets per heat. So wave selection is definitely going to be key. And Hugo, oh, front side. Very nice there from the Frenchman dropping in. That is going to be a good score if he can mix this wave up also with some good turns. What a way to start off riding and then doing a nice old 360. It's a good one there from the F1 rider, Hugo Marin. And keeping himself very busy. Looks like he's going to be grabbing the foil note, deciding against it. He's going to be using the power of his foil. And judges are really going to like this. Nice little power hacks off the top there. Smaller size wave, but he's actually being able to get a little bit more of a push off the top. And this is going to be a very nice score. That is going to be a very good score at the moment. And we also have Camille there with a 7.37. Going to be interesting to see and compare that to the one from Hugo. And I reckon Hugo's is going to be a bit higher because he had the start of that 360 and also a little bit more aggressive. Very nice move there, landing completely on the face and continuing along. There, Camille being very patient, waiting all the way out the back. So Camille coming down the line here. RRD rider coming out of France, one of the Bouyer brothers. Really like this guy's style, and yesterday he was pulling off some very nice airs. Waves aren't as clean as they were yesterday, so it's not as hollow, which is what they need for those that's what they need for the sections. And now looking, here we have Camille coming down the line. Okay, so Camille riding this one all the way to the bottom. Very big wave here from him. Didn't start off with that air like we saw from Hugo, but I know he's trying to eye up if he can make a finisher there. Just pumping along at the very end section of this one. And it looks like he's going to be deciding against it. Still, at the moment, Camille needs a 744 if he wants to take the lead over Hugo. It's going to be interesting to see how the judges are scoring that one. I'm going to say maybe not quite as big a score as we saw there from Hugo. Hugo is a little bit smoother. But then Camille's ride was a little bit longer. So it's going to be around that area. And 744 is the name of the game. Dropping in for one more time. 1.5 minutes left in this heat. There we have Hugo Marin from France, the F1 rider. Big carving hacks on these smaller waves, really pushing out that tail on the top turn. And a backside air onto the wave. This guy is on fire today. 7.13 for that last wave from Camille, just not quite enough to be able to go into first position. So close in between these two guys. 14.50 for Camille, 14.80 for Hugo, who is going to be taking it home and making it through to the final. Start to get onto the old edge of your seats, ladies and gentlemen, because this one is coming down to the final minute. It is coming down to the last wave. Will there be enough time for both of these guys to get one more ride? We will soon find out. 30 seconds on the ticker. 30 seconds left of action on the first semi-final of the day. Watch out, because there does look like there's a little bump all the way out the back, and that is Camille, RRD rider, who is fishing for a possibility, because he is going to need to do a 744 if he wants to be able to take this heat. And it looks like he is going to now start to point him downwind on this little bump. So this one is going to count for him. As you can see, this wave did started off a little bit smaller. But is he going to be able to ride this one all in and get that 744? We will still find out. Keep your eyes on the water. Nice little slash there. Good. Letting that tail loose. Camille. Beautiful surfing down the line. This is looking like to be a nice one. Round a house all the way to the white water, making sure he keeps with that power. Oh, he knows how important this one is. Whacking that tail. Camille Bouyer, RRD from France. 744 is what he needs. Will he be able to achieve this? Back to the white water. Make sure that wing stays in position. And he's going to be looking for a little bit of an air at the bottom section of this bump. It is going to be coming down to the wire. You can see it starts to rough off and goes for a front side air just at the end to see if that could have been the finisher, but unfortunately not quite getting the landing there. Gonna have to wait for some scores to come in because that one was very close. Well, there you can see our two semi-finalists on the left, Hugo Marin, and on the right, Camille Bouyer. Both of those guys out there for that first semi-final of the day. But while we're waiting to see those results to come in, we're going to take a short break. Welcome back, everybody. I'm waiting for results to come in of those two men. Who is going to be taking the lead? We will soon find out. Who is going to be going into the mega final, big final, or grand finale of the Wingfoiling World Tour? We will soon find out. Waiting to see if I can get those results in. But at the moment, it is coming up next. We're going to have Fernando Novaes is going to be going up against Julien Bouyer. Okay, so there is the buzzer, meaning that we are going into that transition. So we are green flag. Green flag for semi-final number 2 out there on the water. And okay, it is official, ladies and gentlemen. Going through to the grand finale. Coming all the way from France, riding for F1, Hugo Marin. Congratulations, Hugo. Well deserved. And now we will have to see how he is going to push forward, because he is going to be going up against the winner of this heat that is out there on the water. Okay, there we can see Julien Bouyer starting to flow through a first section. Oh, holding it together there. A little bit of a big entry off of that old roundhouser, round the house. Semi-final number 2 of the day. Who is going to be taking this one over? All the way to the bottom. Nice style laid back there for Julien. Very nice. Starting to mix it up here. And just getting caught up on the edge of the wave at the very end there. So waiting to see where Mizo is. Still waiting to try and see where Mizo. Can't quite see him out there on the water at the moment. I'm sure he is on his way. Semi-final number 2 here of the GWA Wingfoiling World Tour event in Dakhla. What an event it has been so far. I'm really looking forward to see who is going to be going on top of the podium. And now we just saw that first wave ride there from Julien with a 5.17. I was just trying to find Mizo out there, but he is all the way back out into the ocean. Couldn't quite see him. Just over 16 minutes to go of this heat. So there we have the Brazilian, one of the most talented surfers we do have here on tour. And looking like he is pushing forward to see what he can achieve. Semi-final number 2. That man on your screen on the bottom right-hand corner, that is Julien Bouyer. And far out on the left, that is Fernando Novaes, or more commonly known as Mizo, the F1 rider. Both of these guys battling it out for this place in the grand finale, where Hugo Marin is going to be waiting to see who he is going to have to fight it out here down in the desert for the crown jewels of the GWA Wingfoiling World Tour event here in Dakhla, event number 2. And what a location we have for this second stage of the Wingfoiling World Tour. Beautiful location on the southwest coast of Morocco. Good wind, nice waves, great vibe, good food, and just enjoying being out here with our sister tour, the GWA Kite World Tour last week, where we saw James Carew and Perry Roberts be crowned world champions, and then also Ayrton Cozzolino taking the win at this event. 15.5 minutes, a little bit of a slow start to this heat, but already Julien has made a 5.17, so currently in the lead. Looks like both of the riders deciding to go all the way out the back to see if they can make their way up to the top point break right in front of the West Point Hotel. But Mizo, for some reason, is way out the back. Not quite sure I'm understanding the strategy at the moment, but a very experienced competition rider. Obviously has some trick up his sleeve. Just coming up on that 14 minutes to the end of this heat. Loads of action out there, and if I'm not mistaken, it looks like I'm starting to see some lines, and Julien is coming into position. So both of the guys just kind of floating around to see if they can wait to see that set coming through. Let's have a kind of little recap of what we've seen throughout this competition. We've seen a very big, that first day, round 1, round 2, and halfway through round 3, where we had highlights of Malogren Ole, who has been ripping all the way through, even taking out number 1 seed there, Titouan Galea. But then it was Camille who took the upper hand and was able to go, it was Julien taking the upper hand and was able to go overtake him for a position in the semi-finals. Also a big shout out to Jerome Cletans for his first appearance here on the wingfoiling tour, having, you know, even been able to go out on a half wing, having a little issue there, getting his foil caught up, and was managing to be able to get through past his good friend Fabien Mumentala. But now it is Julien mixing it up one more time. Really like how he just opens those shoulders on the turn. Maybe see a little bit more of a roundhouser. But there, getting a couple, just going down the line, a few little turns. This is when he's going to go a little bit further out in front, come all the way back. See if he's got a good amount of speed, just getting caught up on the foil there. 5:17 already, looking for backup speed, goes for the air. Oh, lands. Stumble. We're going to call it a stumble. Very powerful air maneuver there to end off, just unfortunately not quite coming down. Still, good performance here. Julien's going to have yet another good score on the board. 2 waves against 0. Miso coming on just under 12 minutes. We're going to have to see if he's able to come through, because at the moment he's being patient. But hey, more than 11 minutes of action left. Loads of time to get 2 scores. 2 waves are all that's needed, get the big numbers, and be able to make it all the way through to the grand finale. And here we can see that last wave here from Julien. Very nice, very stylish. Had a little bit of a stumble mid-section, but then came up and went to full throttle for that air. Just unfortunately not quite coming off with the landing. And the end score on that one was a 493. So 10-10 there for Julien Bouyer at the moment. Let me stick my head out of the corner of my booth, because I'm trying to start to get a little bit worried here. Okay, there's Miso. He is depending on the set waves. It looks like that's going to be his strategy. He wants to stay at the top to make sure that he can come on those full rollers and get the high scores. Risky move at the moment because sets are very far and few between. But that looks like what he's doing, because you can see him up there with the blue F1 wing. Seeing if he can make it all the way up the top, and it does look like the wind has increased a bit. And hopefully we'll start to see a battle here for semi-final number 2. Miso all the way out the back, and it does look like he is starting to come in position, as there is a very nice bit of energy coming out towards him. So it looks like we're going to see for the first time of this heat, the Brazilian is going to be coming front and center, and he's going to be coming down on a wave. He's gaining some speed. Is he going to be starting this one off with an air? No, he isn't. He's just going to be pumping through and with style driving into this first wave there from the Brazilian. I really like how he completely passes the wing behind his back in every single turn. So what he actually does, he passes that handle, and that is a big turn. Look at the speed. Judges are really going to be liking this because he is not losing any speed at all on those turns. Just carving this right-hander to pieces. Such a laid-back and flowy style here from the Brazilian. Oh, and just unfortunately going over the top there, but still numbers on the card, meaning that is going to be the first wave score there for Mizo. And let's see what is going to be his next one. Definitely going to be probably one of the higher scoring waves of this heat. Reckon it's going to be around the high 5-ish area. Was nice, good speed, just unfortunately it didn't completely open up all the way to the bottom area of the competition area, but still, good way to start off. Took his time, calm and collected. Now he's going to want to go for another backup score to be able to try and get into contention there against Julien Bouyer. Julien already in position, circling like a shark there on the point, waiting for that set to come through because he knows up against a rider like Mizo, he's going to have to push as hard as possible. Seven minutes on the ticker. 6:27 for that wave from Mizo. So very good surfing there from him. Needs a 383 if he wants to be able to take the lead. And it looks like Mizo has a little bit of an equipment issue there. Trying to see what is happening. I can see Fabi. Something looks like something is wrong with his wing. Not quite sure what, but it looks like something is wrong with his wing there. And he's going to, okay, 6.5 minutes back. Not quite sure what is going on. I think maybe it actually looks a little bit deflated there, so maybe he's lost some air. Looking for to see what is going down here with Mizo on the beach. We'll soon find out. Coming up on 5 minutes left of this semi-final number 2. And it looks like Mizo had a little bit of a foil issue there. So he's already back out on the water. And it's going to have to run like Speedy Gonzalez. Okay, so he is pumping up another wing with 5 minutes on the clock. Risky move here for the Brazilian. Very risky move, as there is little time left. At the moment, it is that man, Julien, who is in the lead. Okay, and hopefully the pump is going to start. There we can see Jerome making sure that it is okay. There you go, this is what we're talking about. Jerome riding for duotone, just helping Mizo out there to try and do as much as possible. And it looks like he will be able to get back into the water very shortly. But at the moment on the water is that man, Julien, looking to improve over that 4.93 of his backup score. And we'll soon find out if he has done that. Yep, okay, I can see out of the corner of my booth, it looks like Mizo is ready and is running towards the water. 4 minutes on the ticker. Just finishing off the old pumping. And he is going to have to go like no tomorrow if he wants to be able to achieve another score. Is he going to come in down here, or is he going to be going all the way back up to the point? We will soon find out. He is going to have to be quick if he wants to be able to have an opportunity. And there we can see Miso on his way out, trying to get past the break. And there's Chucho, one of his teammates, who's going to be giving him a hand to make sure he can get past that first short break. Okay, so there it is. It looks like he is ready. 3 minutes on the ticker. This is going to be a very close one if he can make it out. Julien improving on that second score, so making it a little bit more of an advance there. 3 minutes on the clock. 3 minutes on the clock. And it looks like Miso is going to have to push as hard as possible if he wants to be able to make it through into the grand finale. Oh, getting caught in the whitewash. Murphy's Law. Vísteme despacio que tengo prisa, as Napoleon would say. Okay, come on, Waves. Give him a break. Give him a break. Miso deciding to ditch the wing and just pull as hard as possible to get past that white water section. And now it looks like he has been able to do that, but he now needs to get back into position and get on a wave, and he needs a 460 if he wants to take the lead. So, stressful moments here for the Brazilian. Julien at the moment is leading this heat. And will it be enough to be able to take the win? We will soon find out. So, semi-final number 2 out there on the water, and we are going to be going over now to the grand finales. Wind is quite light. Forecast says it might even drop, so we're going to be doing the grand finals. So first we're going to be starting with the women's winner final that we are going to be starting very shortly, and then we'll be moving over to the men's winners final. It's going to be close. 1 minute 20 seconds on the clock. Miso needs to score a 460 if he wants to be able to have a chance of taking this heat. And Julien out there, also at the quarter of my eye. It looks like he's trying to see if he can get another wave to improve on his scores. 50 seconds. Last minute in this heat. Last minute, guys. Miso turning around, so it looks like he might have seen a bump. Is it going to be enough? This is what I call tension. But this is the semi-finals of the GWA Wingfoiling World Tour event in Dakhla. It is time to start to get to the edge of your seats and start to make some noise, as both of these guys are pushing with all they've got. Miso looking for a wave. 25 seconds. He knows how important it is. And just going down. I do not think it is going to be enough. I don't think he's going to be able to achieve this in time. So at the moment, unless Miso gets on a wave in the next 10 seconds, it is going to be Julien making it through to the grand final. Final minutes. And there is the buzzer. That is the end of that heat. So making his way through to the grand final is going to be Julien Bouyer. Congratulations to him. Very good ride in there from the Frenchman, meaning that he is going to be joining Hugo Marin in that grand finale. But coming up next, bear with us, because we are going to be going down to the beach with Gemma, as we're going to be having the interview with the top 4 ladies that are going to go into the water. But before we do so, bear with us, as we're going to take a short break. You gotta love the good vibes that the music on that F1 video gives you, just cruising and perusing. That is what wingfoiling is all about. And at the moment, they have one of their riders in the grand finale, which is going to be Hugo Marin, and he is going to be going up against Julien Bouyer from RRD. What a final that is going to be. But at the moment, we are just waiting, because coming up next, we are going to have the women's winner final. But before we do so, we are going to be going down to the beach. There you can see the four. That is the two on your left. That is Bo and Fiona is in the winner final. And on the right, that is Orane and Paula, who are in the mini final. So we're going to get some words from all four of those girls very shortly. But look at the smiles, look at the vibes. This is what we're talking about. Those are our top four ladies here in Dakhla. So conditions are a little light out there, but it does look like I can see some wing caps coming all the way on the top right hand corner. And hopefully it's going to increase and we're going to be able to see some epic action out there for the final day of the Wingfoiling World Tour Surf Freestyle discipline here in Dakhla. And while we're waiting, we are going to go down to the beach, because I can see Gemma is going to be doing interviews with each of our finalists.
Thanks a lot, Joe. So I'm down here with our four female finalists who are getting ready with this afternoon's conditions. And first up is Orane from France. How do you feel about going into the final here in Dakhla this afternoon?
I'm so happy to be in the final. Yesterday it was my first time in the wave. So yeah, I can't wait to go for. I will try to do my best. So yeah.
Perfect. Do you want to send a message back to France for the people who are watching on the live stream? En français.
I don't know.
You can say hello in French to the people watching this.
Hello.
That's perfect. Orane, good luck for the final.
Thank you.
Over to Paula Novotna from the Czech Republic. Paula is obviously an experienced competitor in freestyle kiteboarding and many other disciplines. Have you been enjoying this wing event here in Dakhla?
Yeah, I've been loving it. The conditions are great. I mean, I've never ridden in such a perfect conditions for wingfoil wave riding, and I'm loving it. We changed to full wave discipline because of very light wind, no freestyle. So I was a bit sad because I was training some freestyle, but the waves are amazing, so I can't wait to get out there and ride.
And your message back home to Czech Republic?
Ahoj všichni, doufám, že na mě všichni koukáte a držte mi palce. Let's go.
Good luck, Paula. We'll see you after the finals. Thank you so much, Fiona Wylde from the USA. It's been great to have you here. This is your first event with us, and you've done amazing. It's been an incredible performance. How do you feel? Are you proud to be going straight into the finals?
Absolutely. It's been really fun to be able to surf and, be able to, like Paula said, going on these waves have been absolutely incredible, and I'm super excited to share a final with Bowien. I think we're going to have a lot of fun, share a bunch of waves, and yeah, exactly, no matter what, even though we're out there competing, just to be able to share a point break like this with one other person is spectacular. So let's go do it.
It's a true luxury. Send us a little message back to the USA, anyone who's watching on the live stream.
Absolutely. Big thanks to my family and everybody who, supports me traveling around the world, being gone from home for a long period of time. And also a really big thanks to my boyfriend, who is actually here in Dakhla as well. He supports me so much. So to everybody at home, all over the world, thank you, and let's go have some fun.
Fiona, thank you so much. Good luck for the final. Our last finalist here is Bo from the Netherlands. Are you happy to be in this final in Dakhla today?
I'm really happy to be here in the final. The waves look fun, so I'm actually really excited to go out there and battle Fiona in a fun wave contest.
And a message to the Netherlands, anyone watching on the live stream?
Nou, groetjes uit Dakhla en bedankt voor het kijken. Yeah, that's it.
Awesome job, Bo. Good luck for your finals. That's it, Joe. We're ready to go. Follow the action in the water. Let's do it. Good luck, girls. Thanks a lot.
Absolutely, that is the name of the game. Let's do this. Let's get this show on a roll. So going into the water, we are going to have the grand finale. which is going to be in between. Fiona Wylde is going up against Bowien van der Linden, aka Bo. So there we have the RRD rider on the top and the starboard rider there on the bottom hand side. Also 3 times world SUP champion Fiona coming out of Hood River there in Oregon. Very, very talented young waterwoman, and looking forward to see the action out there. So we are going to be going into sequence very shortly. 18-minute of action on the water. Bear with us as we are about to start. Welcome back, everybody, and we are just waiting for the 2 riders to get back into the water as we did that little beach presentation. As soon as the girls hit the water, we will be going into sequence for the grand finale of the GWA Wingfoiling World Tour event here in Dakhla, stop number 2 of the tour. Let's not forget that in a couple weeks' time, we are going to be crossing over the pond to Fortaleza, Brazil, where we will be having that final stage of the Wingfoiling World Tour. So looking forward to get over there in the warm in the palm trees. But at the moment, going out onto the water, it is Bowien van der Linden there with the RRD in the grey, and with the blue and the pink, that is Fiona Wylde. Okay, so it does look like we're going to be going into sequence now. Let's not forget 20-minute heat for this final of the ladies, in between Fiona Wylde and Bowien van der Linden from the Netherlands. And you can see a little bit of the old competition area that we have around here, and we are just waiting to see that final get on a roll. Okay, so there it is, red flag in the sky, meaning that we are going to be starting with the mega final, the grand finale, the big final of the Dakhla event here for the Wingfoiling World Tour. Out on the water, Bowien van der Linden, or aka Bow, going up against Fiona Wylde, coming out of the US of A. Two very talented young ladies who have been pushing it throughout the whole event. We've been seeing 7-point rides from both of them. Wind is quite light at the moment. That's why we've switched around to do the main finals first, and then we go for the mini finals, because the forecast does say that it is going to be dropping off a little bit. You can already see Bo all the way on the top hand corner of the competition area, and Fiona out there as well. 20 minutes of action, top 2 wave scores count, 10 wave attempts each. It is pure surfing what we are looking for. So we're looking for connecting those moves, connecting the sections of the wave, really hitting out those turns, combining the flow, the style, wave selection, all of these little details up into one solid ride to get those big scores from the judges. Main final of the women on the water, that is just about to start. And who is going to be crowned queen here of the desert, we will find out very shortly. Okay, so there you can see it, yellow flag in the sky, coming up on 1 minute to the start of women's heat number 1, the grand finale, big final out there on the water. Coming from the Netherlands, we have Bowien van der Linden, aka Bo, is up against Fiona Wylde from the US of A, out of Hood River, Oregon. And there we can see both of the riders making their way up to the point to start off this heat, right in front of the West Point Hotel. Who is going to start this one off with a first wave? We will soon find out, because closing seconds to that green flag. There we can see, looking at the old timer there, Fatty. And green flag it is. Go, go, go. 3, 2, 1, action out here on the water. So on your screen on the left-hand side in the blue, that is Fiona. And on the right-hand side, that is Bo. Both of the riders, as we mentioned before, up on the top right-hand corner of the competition area, are going to be searching it out. And here we can see Fiona coming down. She looks like she's going to be opening up this heat with a first wave. Let's not forget, 3 times SUP world champion. Knows what he has to do in between the buzzers to get the gold medals. And now looking to close this one down here. But Bo, from yesterday, taking the highest combined heat score and wave score of the competition. So if I'm going to say so, this is going to come down to the line, and it is not going to be over until the final seconds of this heat. But there you can see Fiona opening up with a nice little roller halfway down the point. Going to get some scores up on the board and start off her competition. There we can see Fiona with the free wing from starboard, moving out to the back to see if she can go for another set. And it does look Bo. That Bo is waiting for a set wave to come through. She knows going up against a rider like Fiona, both of these girls have to go for the better waves. Fiona looks like she picks off a nice little inside roller, getting a 583. A very nice 583 there for Fiona on that first wave, meaning that she is going to be taking that first position at the moment. But it looks like the rider from Netherlands all the way out the back, just waiting to see if she can get that first set. Both of these riders know that they have to pick off the better waves if they want to get the top scores, and both of them more than capable of getting those big numbers. So I reckon it is going to be a patient game out there, and let's see who is going to be crowned queen here of the desert and take the GWA Wingfoiling World Tour stop here in Dakhla home. A little bit of the old double mic here, the GWA Swiss Army knife at the moment. So here we can see Fiona in the lead with a 5.83. Bo is all the way out the back, waiting for that first set to come through. 2.5 minutes already elapsed in this heat. Going to be interesting to see. Sets are a little bit far and few between, so around, we've been seeing in between 2 to 3 decent sets throughout each heat. Wind did drop a bit, that's why we changed the heat order and decided to put the winners final in before the mini finals, just in case that wind does drop, to make sure that we have our winners in the bag. And at the moment, these two athletes out there, Fiona Wylde on the left and Bowien van der Linden on the right, looking to see who can claim the win of this Dakhla event. Okay, so Bowien, our D athlete, dropping in on a wave. So starting off, I really like her layback style this young lady has, and she was keeping it very busy and loose yesterday. Let's see how she's feeling in this final. Back to the foam ball. Here we have this first section of the wave. Keeping the style up on the foil, going back to the old white wall. Nice little cutback. Now this is where she's going to start straight lining it to get past this first section. Good so far. Keeping it loose and keeping it groovy. And just unfortunately there, decided to go against that wave. Got a little bit caught up on the wing. So probably not going to be the score she was looking for, but still early days. 16 minutes still left on the clock. Always good to get loosey-goosey and start to get the old piston firing and the blood pumping, because this is the grand finale. And there we can see in this nice replay the first wave there from Bowien van der Linden. Really do like how she does make an effort every single time to go back to the whitewater, especially when conditions are marginal and it is hard out there. If you don't want to use the power of the wing, if you really do want to show the judges that you are just riding the foil, you are going to have to go back to that power section each turn. And it really does look nice to do so. And it does not get much closer than this, ladies and gentlemen, señores y señoritas. 5.80 there for Bo, and a 5.83 there for Fiona. This just shows how close the level is in between these two ladies, and this is going to be an action-packed final here, a day number 3 of the GWA Wingfoiling World Tour event in Dakhla. Okay, so looking at the moment, it is Bowien van der Linden with a 5.93, just taking the lead there and putting herself in first position. And in second position, it is Fiona Wylde with a 5.83. This is going to be a very close heat. Only 0.01 in between each one of these riders. 0.1, excuse me. And I know this is going to be a very close final. 14.5 minutes on the clock. And both of the ladies all the way out the back waiting for those gusts to come in and see if those second sets of the heat is going to be coming their way. Fiona up on the floor, starting to get a little breeze. It looks like she's got some energy in the bump on the back there. Looking to get her second wave score of the day. So, here we have Fiona coming down the line for wave number 2. Looking like she's going to need a 0.1 to lead. I'm pretty much sure she's going to be achieving that. And this is a wave that's opening up nicely. If you can pick up the ones a little bit further on the left of the bay, they really do go down the line. And Fiona just cruising and perusing down this very nice right-hander, peeling off of the point. This is definitely going to be a good ride and a good score. Cut back, making her way back to the whitewater, get a little bit of power again. Only using the power of the ocean and her foil. Making sure that wing stays out of the wave. All the way down. This is a very good ride there from Fiona Wylde from the US of A. Going to be wave number 2, waiting for scores to come in. That definitely, I'm going to say, was a better wave than her first one. Not by a huge amount, but it is going to be a better score. So I reckon she is now going to have 2 nice numbers out there on the booth. 7.07. 7.07 there for Fiona Wylde, totaling out at a 12.90. So now Bow is going to need a 7.24 if she wants to be taking the lead, as Fiona has a very good combination scores already and just coming up on 12 minutes left of this heat. So Bow now is going to need to get a 7.24. We saw her do this yesterday, but conditions are light out there at the moment. You can see both of the ladies trying to pump as much as possible. And Bow looks like she's having a little bit of an issue getting up on that foil so far. There we can see Fiona cruising out to the back. And she has now 2 decent scores. And it's time to start to pick off the good ones and start to try and improve on both of those numbers. And there we can see also Bow making her way back into position. She's going to be tacking out and see if she can get herself further up the point to be able to get that set. As it stands at the moment, she needs a 7.24 if she wants to be taking the lead. We saw it in the heats before. Both of these ladies, with all of the competitors, it is so close in between all of them and trading positions throughout every single heat. So I am sure this is going to be happening here in our grand finale as well. And now we're going to have to wait to see who is going to be crowned Queen of the Desert, the champion of the GWA Wingfoiling World Tour event here in Dakhla, Morocco. And looks like out the back there, if I can see, that definitely is. It looks like Fiona is picking up on a very nice outside bomb. Just going off behind it. So is that going to mean that Bow's going to take off on it? We will soon find out. And there we can see both of the ladies making their way back to the point. And it does look like maybe Bow is going to be taking off on a little outside bomb. Going, yeah, there we can see releasing the wings. So this is going to be wave number 2 here for the athletes from the Netherlands. Starting to turn in and come down the line. This one is opening up very nicely. Really loose style, this young lady. And trying to keep her balance here on the whitewater to get across to make it all the way to that next section. And unfortunately deciding against it, not being able to get in front of the whitewater. So that is going to be ride number 2. And keep your eyes out on the back of the competition, Eric. It looks like we have Fiona on a very nice outside bomb. It looks a little flat there on the inside, but sometimes as it hits that second sandbank, we are able to see how the wave does jack up. Fiona making sure she stays close to the old foam ball to be able to go as far as possible. 3.83 for that last wave there from Bow, and Fiona coming down with a good amount of speed. Judges are going to be liking that last turn. And looks like she's aiming up maybe here to try an air. Goes for a little air and keeps it together. Yes! Unfortunate there for that last landing. Nice air there from Fiona Wylde. Just not quite getting the landing at the very end. But giving her double shackers and a big for that attempt. So now let's have a look at some numbers out on the board. Fiona at the moment 7.33 and a 5.83, totaling out at a 13.16. We have Bow with a 5.93 and a 3.17, totaling out at 9.1. Looks like Fiona's ride is going to improve over her base score. It is 7.07. So Fiona once again throwing down the hammer. And she is putting herself in the lead. Bow now needs an 8.47 if she wants to be overtaking Fiona. Still, there is enough time out there. There's time for one big wave. There's time for two decent to medium waves. Anything can happen. This is a final. And there we have on the replay. This is where we saw Fiona going sky high. Was able to get the landing, but then as she came down the face of the wave, the foil just caught and she went head over heels. Good effort, innovation, mixing it up. Good to see the girls pushing the envelope, and they're getting rewarded by the judges with that 7.07. And there we can see Fiona making her way back out all the way to the edge of the competition area. Bow just looking to see if she can push forward. There are a couple of little light wind spots here in the middle at the moment, and forecast is saying that the wind is not looking great, so we are pushing on. Currently, both of these girls have two decent waves, Fiona with 2.7s and Bow with one of a 5.93. There is that middle section of the competition area where Bow is stuck at the moment. That is where it really does get light out there, so hopefully wind will be back and start pushing forward, and we will be able to see some more action. Grand finale on the water at the moment. US of A versus the Netherlands. But it is Fiona Wylde with that 14.40. Very good combination scores of a 7.34 and a 7.07 out there on the water. Front and center on your screen. They're riding for Starboards, who is in the lead so far. Four and a half minutes on the ticker. 4.5 minutes on the ticker here for the women's final of the GWA Wingfoiling World Tour event here in Dakhla. Conditions are looking better. Nice little sets coming through, and there it is. Fiona is going to be coming down the line on what looks like a very good wave, but unfortunately, wow. It is light out there. I reckon I'm going to start going outside and go. And I can see the boys starting to get ready to rumble, as after this we have the grand finale of the men's side here of the event. Guys, I hope the lunch wasn't too big because it is light out there. And at the moment, Fiona 14.40 versus a 9.10 there from Bo, who is going to be crowned queen here of the desert. It is very close to finding that out. So coming up on that 2 minutes, and as we saw before, Fiona trying to throw down a little bit of an air here in the final. But hey, if you're going to throw out all of the goods, it's definitely going to have to be in the final. And up against a rider like Bo, you know you have to throw all of the aces out of your sleeve. At the moment, conditions are tough, to say the least. I'm about to get a couple of fans, put them on the beach, and see if we can increase this by a couple of knots, because it is very light out there. There you can see on your screen, that is Fiona making her way back up to the point and looking to see if she can get that last set to come down the line and get one more wave before she crowns herself at the moment. But it is not over until the buzzer, because Bo needs an 8.47 to lead, and you never know. At the moment, we've seen her surfing very well, and with those kind of moves she's been throwing down, anything can be happening there at the moment. But 1 minute left. I'm not seeing much action out there on the water. Not quite seeing much of the energy. And hopefully we will see some more coming our way. But bear with us, because after this grand finale, we will be going down to the beach to introduce you to the finalists of the men's GWA Wingfoiling World Tour event here in Dakhla. Miso, Julien, Hugo, and Camille, excuse me, getting those two mixed up, the two brothers. Those are the guys that are going, those are our finalists. But it is going to be Julien and Hugo who are going to be going in to that grand final coming up next. 20 seconds left on the buzzer. And I'm going to go as far as saying it does not look like both of these ladies are going to take one more wave. So waiting for confirmations to come in. But unless something drastic happens in the next 10 seconds, it is going to be this lady pumping on your screen. And yes, that is going to be official. Your champion here of the GWA Wingfoiling event in Dakhla of the Surf Freestyle on the women's division, coming from the US of A, Fiona Wylde. Congratulations to her. And also a big round of applause to Bowien van der Linden from the Netherlands, the RD rider, putting on a solid performance. And yeah, second position there for her. And now we're going to be moving on down to the beach, if I'm not mistaken, very shortly, as I can see Gemma is ready for the beach interview with our finalists.
All right, Joe, we're down here on the beach. Fernando, what happened during your last heat? We saw you run out, we saw you change gear, go back in, 5 minutes left on the clock. You still stood a good chance, but it wasn't quite enough time. What happened?
Yeah, I got in the water before the heat to try out the gear, and it felt good, but the wind just dropped right when the heat started. And I didn't manage to take off early, and it took about 10 minutes to start flying. It was pretty hard, but I take responsibility for not choosing the right gear, so I won't be the crying baby. It's all good.
still stand a chance with the podium finish here, so that's what you have to aim for now.
Yeah, totally. Now I'll pick the right gear for sure.
Well, we'll let you go get ready, prepared for your heat, and we'll see you in the small final coming up shortly. Right. Camille, how did it go for you? Are you ready here for the small final?
Yeah, I'm ready for the small final. The goal was to be in the winner final with my brother.
Oh, this is what we were all waiting to see.
The fight with Hugo was super good. We were super close. Congratulations to Hugo, and now I want to finish third on the podium, and this is a new goal.
New goal. We want to see both brothers on the podium, so
Yeah.
I wish you lots of luck. Get ready for your heats, and we'll see you in the water.
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's go.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Hugo, through to the main final. How are you feeling here against your main competitor?
I'm so happy. I did a good job, I think, with a good wave, doing 360 and that's why I can score 8.10. And yeah, I'm really happy, and I'm happy to be against Julien in this final. And it will be difficult, but I will fight for sure.
Super. Well, I wish you lots of luck. It's a very French final we have here. Julien, how are you feeling?
Super good. Like Camille said, the goal was to do a Julie-Cannes final, but because of Hugo, we didn't manage to do it.
Thanks a lot, Hugo.
But now I just want to win, and I hope Camille is going to be third. And the goal is to do a French podium.
It's looking pretty close. I have to say there's a Brazilian in the mix, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, guys. Well, I'll let you get into the water. Good luck, and we'll see you guys at the podium finish right after.
See you.
Thanks a lot. Back to you, Joe.
Thanks a lot, Gemma. And those are the 4 gladiators of the Colosseum, as I like to say, down here in Dakhla. Sandy Colosseum of the day. And it is going to be Hugo Marin versus Julien Bouyer. Those are the 2 men that are going to go out for that grand finale. And there we can see Fiona Wylde coming in from the water, our champion. Double shaka smiles and applause for this young lady. Coming all the way from Hood River there in the Oregon. And a smile on her face there. Let's not forget, 3 times SUP world champion. Also, she suffers from diabetes type 1. And she is an ambassador for people with this disease, just showing that you can push forward. And what better way than pushing forward than world championships under her belt. Water woman on and off. And just one of the very great ambassadors here for our sports. So congratulations to her, and one more time a big round of applause to Bowien van der Linden, because let's not forget she put on a solid performance there in that final, and we are going to be seeing good things from her coming very soon. But now it is back. We are going to be going back into action as we are going to be going back out onto the water with the grand finale of the men in between Hugo Marin and Julien Bouyer. And there we can see our winner, Fiona, who is going to be meeting up there with Gemma down on the beach, and we're going to get some words and see the raw emotion of our winner out there. So we'll soon find out how she thought it was, see what is going down in her mind, because we're just winning off that event. And here we can see a little hop, skip and a jump and a run towards
our colleague down there on the water. So there I can see it. Yep, there, Gemma. It seems like you have the champion by your side. Give that girl a big congratulations from us. Okay, we do apologize like that. It looks like we're just a little bit too far there for the old Wi-Fi mobile cam. So, Gemma, get the words in. How is the champ feeling? And we're feeling silence. We do apologize about this, ladies and gentlemen. So we are very sorry. It looks like we have a little bit of a sound issue. So we're going to bring the champ closer and closer. And I reckon we should just, get her right out in front of the booth here. But, these things happen anyway. So we are keeping the details to ourselves to see what she is going to say. So, this is going to be, we are going down to the beach with Gemma. Gemma, how is our champion feeling?
Joe, can you hear me now? Ah, finally, we have sound. Perfect. Fiona, we're so stoked to have you here. You're winning this event here in Dakhla, Morocco. How is the heat? How are the conditions? And how do you feel about taking the first title here?
Oh, first of all, big thing. It's been very light wind the whole week, so negotiating all the different challenges and everything just to get a couple waves, it's hard, but it's part of competing too. So I actually decided to take a 6-meter wing and a bigger foil just to make sure that I could get up in the light conditions. But overall, my experience here has been amazing. It's been super fun to get to know all the other competitors and all the other women here. They're charging. So yeah, I mean, I wasn't expecting to win my first GWA event. But I'm really happy to do so. So big thanks to everybody, and I think the next couple days we're going to have some races. So let's go.
That's going to be super excited as well to see you in the racing discipline. Are we also going to be seeing you at our next event in Brazil?
I so wish. I hope so. I actually have IQ Foil Nationals back home that are the same dates, but I really hope to do some more stuff this next coming year, so it'll be cool.
Well, we're going to be delighted to have you on tour. Thank you so much. Congratulations on your win, and we're looking forward to seeing you in the race discipline coming up tomorrow. And for now, we're going to go back to Joe and on to the men's final. So thanks so much.
Thank you. Good luck to the guys. Thank you.
Thanks. Back to you, Joe.
Thank you, Fiona, and thank you, Gemma. Absolutely, congratulations to her, and we are very much looking forward to seeing her coming into the GWA Wingfoiling World Tour. And joining me in the booth at the moment, I have a very good friend of mine from my hometown of Tarifa, Jerome. Welcome to the stream.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you for having me here today. Yeah, kind of excited to watch this final. It's going to be really sick, in my opinion.
It is, yeah. We have out there on the water, we have Hugo Marin, and he is going up against Julien Bouyer of the two brothers. One of the things we've been saying about all of the riders here, there is such a cool general vibe. Everybody's really motivated. They really want to go on the water. It's actually quite hard to get all of you off of the water.
Yeah, everyone, it's such a young sport, and everyone here is so young, actually. It is like super young kids, it's 16-year-olds, 15-year-olds, and yeah, they're hooked to the sport, so they basically spend the whole day in the water. Yesterday I saw a few guys that were competing that literally spent surfing in the morning, surf foiling in the afternoon, and then winged in the comp, and then went back to winging afterwards. So it's pretty hectic to keep up with these guys, but it's fun.
Yeah, I think the garages are just going to get bigger and bigger, if I'm not mistaken, because, if you have to have all of the toys, I think you're going to have to start to get all of the space. But still, more time on the water. This is what it's about, Waterman. And now let's go on to the action on the water, because Hugo Marin is going to be going up against Julien Bouyer to see who is going to be the winner of this Dakhla event. Jerome, what do you think about these two riders?
They both have their own style. I like actually a lot both of them. I've competing with them the last few days, so I've seen a lot of them. And yeah, I think Hugo is a goofy rider, and Julien is a regular. So it's cool to see different ways of riding the wave. And it's a bit tricky. Both of them have been scoring pretty high the whole event. So yeah, I think it's gonna be either way.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think, you know, it's actually, there's a little bit of a mix there, because Hugo, I'm going to say, is maybe a little bit looser. He has a little bit more of a flowy style, but then Julien, he really mixes it up, because he does have that kind of whip off of the tail on the cutbacks, and then also we have been seeing him do airs at the closing moments of his waves. So I think it can go any way. Quite light out there at the moment. Grand finale here in Dakhla. Julien Bouyer and Hugo Marin. Wind is looking a little better, doesn't it, out there, doesn't it, Jerome?
Yeah, it's still a bit tricky though. There's some really big holes, and I'm kind of curious what foils the guys, if they change for the last heat or not. I think Hugo was on an 840 right now before, and it goes really fast, that foil, but it's pretty impressive to just be riding with such a little light wind. He had to pump his way out basically. So I'm not sure if he changed or not. I think he's on a 6, same as Julien. I think he's also on a big one. And yeah, it's quite tricky. If you fall in the middle of the section, you're going to spend at least 1 or 2 minutes to get out of there. So yeah, I think they're going to take kind of the risk at the beginning of the wave, and then at the end of the wave as well.
Yeah, I think in the end you have to, I mean, you know, when you're in the final, you have to go for it. And for them to be able to get a little bit more of movement out on the wave is what the judges are looking for. But as you say, wind is light. They're out there on 6 meters. So if they do fall on that inside section where the wind, it has been dropping throughout the day, they're going to have a hard time getting back up.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, it happened to me as well. I don't know if you noticed, but I've stayed there for quite a bit of time, sometimes for too long. And it's kind of annoying and quite exhausting, because if you try to pump your way out of there, it's like you cannot breathe at the end. So it's a bit hectic, but Hugo is really good at pumping. Like I was surf foiling with him the other day, and literally I was catching a wave, he got into my wave for fun, and then he got out of the wave, got to a next wave, and then went to the wave at the back, and I was still pedaling out to go back to the main spot, and he was still foiling. He was catching one wave to the other, and I was like, come on, man, that's not fair.
Yeah, we're gonna call him the Duracell Bunny, the French Duracell Bunny, just non-stop. But hey, you know, in the end, you got to put in the hours, and each of the riders. I can't say that I know what is going to happen in this final. The waves, as the tide has gone out here, you can see this. Some of the sections here, Jerome, you were out there. You got all the way through to the quarterfinals. There's kind of 3 different sections here. You got up at the point, the little flat middle part, and then there's kind of does jack up at the end. What works better for you in these kind of tides?
Yeah, it's complicated. It changes with the tides, and you really have to find a way that it's you get the first section and the last section, as you said. And it's tricky because sometimes it looks really good on the first section, and then as it flats out, it doesn't pick up back again on the later one. And actually, I was about to say it, Hugo sees that pretty well. Mitho as well, I don't know if you noticed, but he really like reads the wave that follows till the beach. And yeah, so you have to kind of figure out the one that you have to believe that's going to go till the end, that you can get the last sandbank. And it seems like Hugo is getting a pretty good one already.
Yeah, there we can see Hugo Marin already making his way down the line with a first right-hander. Super loose style, this guy. He really just flows down the line, and that's going to be a nice score to start off the heat. And here we can see also that is Julien Bouyer, and this is the difference, as we mentioned. He has a little bit more of an aggressive style at the top, and not as much flow, but very, very good riding from both of these. And it looks like this one is going to be a nice one for Julien. Are we going to see? Looks like he's coming up for an air. Are we going to see him fly? Yes, we are. Ending off a wave. That's going to be a good score.
Yeah, you can see clearly. You can see that Hugo goes like he surf foils a lot. You can see it on the way he's more focused on the foil rather than the wing. And then Julien is more of a risk taker. Like he'll go for the lip and try to get the air, which is pretty cool to watch the difference.
Yeah, and that's just the signature move we've been seeing throughout the whole contest there with Hugo. That's kind of that toe side 180 air.
Aye.
Oh, and that is not often you see that. He got caught up on that one.
Yeah, let's wonder how much time he's going to get out of that zone, because that's a bad zone to be with.
Yeah, that's the one where you can see the guys kind of fishing.
Yeah. Maybe if he pedals out a little bit more, you can get that gust again. But it's just right there with when the wind dies for at least like 50 meters, and then it picks up again. It's a bit tricky, and you kind of like run out of time. But they seem pretty calm and quite of, yeah, that's a pretty good score, no?
Yeah, coming on with some very good scores here from both of the guys. So at the moment, Jerome, it looks like a 7.17 for that last wave from Julien. So judges really liking that, and a 6.13 for the first wave from Hugo. I think really little differences, but let's kind of run through those waves. We saw Hugo flowy, stylish, coming all the way down the line. Maybe the wave wasn't as long. Then we saw Julien a little bit more aggressive on the top side of the waves and ending off with an air. I'm going to say more style on Hugo's style, more variety and completion on Jerome's, on Julien's. So there we can see that is giving him those extra points, 7.71 versus a 6.13.
Yeah, I totally agree. But look, this is what happened to me as well in the heat. Is like you just get a hole and you get stuck there and see the time pass, and you're really like, please, just one gust, and then you can get up and you're out, and then it doesn't matter if there's no wind. But it seems like Hugo is gonna get that gust. I don't know if Julien is gonna be able to receive the same gust, but it's tricky. You actually, with the wingfoil, that's a cool part. Is like you need 15 seconds of gust, and then you're out, and then you can take it easy and wait.
Some scores out there.
Happens a bit in the desert, but yeah, I think Hugo did some pretty good waves, Julien as well. Let's see if we can refresh the scores and see who's taking the lead right now. But to be honest, not that much has been going on. I think there was 2 or 3 waves each. Well, and I think still the best scores, not 100%, were at the beginning of the heat. So let's see what happens.
Anything can happen. I mean, in the end, I'm sorry guys, we're just doing this to keep the suspense. We just cut the electrical cables so none of you knows what the finalists in, throw you in at the end of the minutes. But it does look out there, like you said, Jerome, not a lot has gone on. We can see that there is some waves coming in through the bottom half of the competition area, but I'm going to say it still does look like Hugo there, 15.14 on the buzzer, is getting very close. He is in the lead. So what it is going to be, Julien is going to need a 7.97 to take the lead.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw the last two waves. The ones are pretty well scored. I think the 2 best of the heat, but it was right after, right about when it was electricity down. I don't know if you were able to see the last bit, but yeah, Hugo's in the lead, and I guess Goofy Footer is going to take the win mode. So far, it's still 2 minutes. That anything can happen, but it's pretty sick to see a Goofy Footer in this wave getting so far.
Yeah, that's a good point, because obviously that means he's going backside. So when he turns on the wave, he has to look completely around from his back. For people not familiar with the surfing, then the regular foot riders, which means they are left foot forward predominant, means that when they do that bottom turn, they can see everything that is happening on the wave. Usually it means that backside is a little bit harder, but it also can mean some people are better styles on backside. Looks like that's working well for Hugo at the moment.
Yeah, and mainly it's also about using the wing, being able to use the wing on the wave. When you're backside, it's kind of tricky because the wind you cannot really get the power on the wing of the wind. So you kind of have to do airs on your, like, without the wing, or kind of do a long cut back and then do an air going that way. I think we saw it in the semifinals with a 360 from Hugo. So yeah, that's kind of like the tricky part of being backside. And yeah, Hugo seems like he's been doing fine with it. And both of the Bouyer brothers took advantage of being regulars and really throwing out the airs since the beginning.
Yeah, very much so. And also, Jerome, tell me, talking a little bit about here, sometimes the wing gets caught up in the waves as well.
Yeah, it happens quite often. It depends when it hits the wave. You should have seen the difference on wings in the last 2 years. Like before, it was so unstable. Now all the wings is crazy. You can just surf the wave and forget about it. Like yeah, that doesn't happen that often. It just happens when it's really light wind, like today, and then you get stuck with that's pretty cool. He just did a 360 last minute trick, even if it's not gonna count. But yeah, let's see if Julien can get an air out of this. Nice.
Oh, Julien, 360 onto it.
All right, peace out.
Peace out, claiming it at the end of the wave. I mean, he knows that's going to be one of the last waves here of the heat, airing down. And here we can see it is at the moment he has a 13.74. 717 was his highest score at the moment, and he needs a 797. And like you say, a little bit of a claim, peace out. But we are just waiting for that noise. That means that is the buzzer, because the timer was a little mixed up with the old electricity. It is going to be very close in between these two, but we're going to have to wait for that final wave score, Jerome.
Yeah, it was kind of tricky. I didn't really see the whole wave. I just saw the air at the end, and he claimed it, so it must be a good wave. Yeah, kind of curious now what's going to happen. It was a pity I didn't realize from the start of the wave. But yeah, it's all about one wave right now. It's pretty cool to get the final and see everything last minute.
Yeah, I mean, this is the way we like it as well. We do apologize about the electricity, but there's nothing we could do about that. Hugo Marin walking towards the beach as we're going to see if we can find out some of those results. And there we can see Julien as well, just waiting and chilling out down there. Jerome, I'm going to say a big thank you for joining us here in the stream. It's been a pleasure having you here on the final. Let's see who is going to be, but it is that man. It looks like the Frenchman. Hugo Marin is taking the win of this event in Dakhla.
Nice. Yeah, well deserved, no doubt. Really good riding, really good surfing, and yeah, it's super sick to see him win. I can see even Titouan, teammates, everyone is stoked for him. He's a super nice guy as well, so definitely deserves it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, we're going to stay with that image right there, because what a good riding we had there from Hugo. And if I'm not mistaken, it looks like, there it is, the French flag flying high, F1 rider for F1. Hugo Marin taking the win here in Dakhla. And let me see, because I can also see that Gemma is down there with our winner. Gemma, how is our champion feeling?
Hey Joe, thank you so much. Hugo, congratulations taking the win here in Dakhla. How did it go? How do you feel right now?
Yeah, I'm feel quite happy. It was a good hit, quite hard because the wind is so light. But yeah, I'm very, very happy. I did manage to do a 360 into the wave, so yeah, like in the semi-final, I'm very happy and inseparable. So happy.
Just very happy.
I don't have the word to describe.
Well, we're very happy for you, Hugo. Congratulations, and we look forward to seeing you now up on the podium in a few moments. Thank you so much. Back to you guys, Joe.
Thank you, Gemma, and congratulations there to Hugo. Solid performance for him there out on the water. And there you go, the big shackers and the hug in between. Those are our two grand finale finalists, Julien Bouyer and the winner, Hugo Marin. What a way to finish off the event, and bear with us as we are going to take a short break.
Bunch of runaways, but we only run into the grave. Nothing you can really say. I was smoking cigarettes on patios. I was drinking beer with my friends. I was trying to boogie down the night, vodka with the Sprite. Here we go again. I was smoking cigarettes on patios. I was throwing money in the air. Maybe I should pick that shit back up.
Okay, so now moving on for the ladies. So women's surf freestyle mini final in between Paula Novotna and Orane Ceris from France. Both of these riders doing very well in the semi-finals, and Paula very close to getting into that grand finale. Hasn't been riding waves much, and you can really see he just has the competition experience and has the water sports background. Getting seriously into wing, the Czech rider. And now there we have it. Both of the girls out there on the point. And who is going to, looks like it is going to be Orane, the first rider to come down on a wave. As we said, conditions are quite light out there. And hopefully it will increase a little bit because there are quite some bald patches out there on the water. And now we're going to see, that is on your screen, Paula Novotna, the Czech rider, coming down the line, who looks like she's going to be engaging on her first. Okay, here comes Paula. This one is opening up very nice. Once again, wave selection being doing very well. Making it all the way down to the bottom of the competition area. Paula has not been feeling great throughout this competition. And backside air, keeping it together. Okay. Getting off of the wave with a little bit of airtime there for the Czech rider. And let's see what the judges are thinking about that one, because that is one of the first landed airs we've seen of the competition, even though it wasn't landing right back on to the wave. Girls look like they are out on 5 meters. We've seen the guys out on the 6s. Light conditions here for day 3 in Dakhla. Races have been released for today, as we will be starting with the races tomorrow. And the goal is to finish mini final of the ladies and mini final of the men to complete the surf freestyle discipline here of the second stop of the season. Currently on your screen, we have Orane Ceris and Paula Novotna. And there we can see Paula with a 5.17 for that last wave. So both of the riders making their way back up to the top of the competition area to see if they can land on another set wave. There we can see Orane trying to get on that bump. Unfortunately, looks like she just didn't have quite enough power. And playing it along in the background, that is Paula. Waves are far and few between as this tide is getting to probably one of its lowest points. You really do have to pick out the good ones to be able to make it through to the bigger heats at the moment. 3rd and 4th position of the competition up for grabs. And there you have on your screen, that is Paula Novotna with just 13.5 minutes of this mini final of the ladies to go. Currently in the lead with a 5.17, the duotone rider from the Czech Republic. And this is looking like a very nice outside bomb. Coming all the way. So Paula, let's see what she has for us here. Pumping along. Keep yourself to that. And welcome back, everybody. We do apologize because the electricity today is up, left, right, down, and center, to say the least. It's been cutting off 3 times already, so we really do apologize for this. But unfortunately, there's not a lot we can do about it. But back on the stream just in time for the action, as we have Camille Bouyer is going up against Fernando Novaes or Miso for that mini final of the men. And once again, joining me in the booth, I have here Jerome Clotens. Jerome, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, good afternoon. I actually have some great news, something pretty cool that I just heard in the riding booth. Yeah, Mitho just decided to go strapless for this one. So no straps, he's got a bigger board and no straps, which is pretty cool to just see him riding. It's basically the first rider is going to ride strapless on a loser final.
That is a big piece of information. So kind of mixing it up. I mean, Miso comes from a big surfing background, and we've been seeing him ride strapless surfboard as well. Even when I've seen him out here practicing throughout the mornings, he's been on that board.
Yeah, but like it's crazy because you already like we're just going strapless. You already take off quite a lot of stuff that you cannot do. You're not going to do the airs. You're not going to do the 360s. So he's only going to focus on his turns and on pure surfing, which is really exciting. I think it's really cool.
his whole wave, and obviously judges are really going to give him those extra points.
Yeah, exactly. But then at the same time, yeah, Camille really takes the risk, and he's got totally a different style than Mitho, but it's really fun to watch as well. He did some really big airs. He uses the wing as well, it's totally a new thing that we can open up on this sport, is to use the wing and the wave. I think it's quite exciting to see that as well. I don't know if that's the best direction for the sport going, if we use the wing on the air tricks on the wave, but it's cool to see riders testing it out and see all the possibilities we have.
Yeah, it definitely is, because you can see there that he mixes all of the different possibilities, like you're saying. He's mixing the surfing, he's mixing the flow, but then also some of the riders using the wing kind of like a windsurf sail. So they're actually not letting go and putting it into that neutral position. Obviously, such a new sport, and how far this sport has come so far. We're all of course, going to see all different directions, kind of like a roundabout, and then we're going to see where the flock and everybody goes down. So early days, and now coming down on yet another wave, we are seeing Camille Bouyer. At the moment, he has a 5.40, and he is looking to get. He needs a 3.17 if he's to take this win.
As you can see, he really went to look that wave much more on the right, like behind the peak basically. I think with the low tide, that was a good idea of him. Just go look for that one till the set comes up. It's a pretty good wave, and I don't think he'll be able to get the sandbank. Maybe if he's really lucky, the wave connects again, but at least he got the turns out, and yeah, got a wave while there was not much to do.
So tell me about this middle section here, Jerome, because obviously it does flatten out when you're not on the wing. So not when you're not using the power of the wing and you are kind of floating down the wave. How do you keep the board moving so that you don't have to pump?
For example, what Camille just did, the wave basically disappeared, and he didn't give up on it. He kept on using the wing and the foil, because right there is like maybe 4 knots or something. So you have to pump you're gonna have to almost stop breathing, and then pump with the wing as well, and yeah, try to do as much as possible till the wave comes back up. And some riders decide to just turn around and go look for a better one, and some try to risk it and see at the beach. For example, that was actually one of the best examples to see. The wave literally died, there was no more wave, and he just kept going, and then he had a few more turns to do afterwards.
Yeah, and then you can see in that last score a 5.33, so meaning that's going to be his backup score now. Totaling out a 10.97. He is in the lead by 2.4. So obviously we've been seeing Mitho is very patient, like you said in your heat. Yeah. He kind of stays out the back, looks for the bigger ones so that he can perform and get the bigger scores. Of course, pressure applied, because if you get the big one but don't put in the moves, you're not going to get the scores. Two different strategies out there. We got, we have Camille keeping himself busy, Mitho staying calm, cool and collected out the back. Going to be interesting to see who's going to come off with the win.
Yeah, I think Mitho kind of has to do this strategy, because his way of surfing is really like flow and really riding the whole wave of it. He even goes like super far out and goes back in. So he needs a big wave for that, because if not, the judges are not going to count that much as well. And then Camille can take smaller waves and then really try to through an air or risk it more. So I think it really fits his style, Mitho, to really wait for the biggest wave, because through the whole wave it's not that much of a risk, but he's got so much flow and so much consistency that that looks really cool. So that fits for the big waves.
Yeah, he does have that kind of laid back style, as we mentioned. It's probably variety versus kind of style here at the moment. Mitho not doing a lot of radical moves, but he just does keep kind of dancing along the wave, and kind of, as we've been mentioning, layback. Oh, almost losing his foot there.
That's what's so cool about this sport, is like it's so young that one rider on this final is riding straps and the other one is riding strapless. It's like basically two different sports. When you just put straps on, you don't put straps on, and you can do this because it's such a young sport. Nobody really knows what's the best direction yet, so it's super cool to see all the possibilities all the time.
Absolutely, sky is the limit. And let's not forget, second stop on the GWA Wingfoiling World Tour here in Dakhla, Morocco, down on the southwest coast. At the moment, the northeasterly kind of playing with us a bit. I'm going to say there's probably about, what, Jerome, 12 knots out there at the moment on average?
Yeah, average is a bit hard to tell because there's so many holes. Yeah, there's some places where it's 0 to 3 knots, and there's some places where you're around 15, 16. Sometimes you can get a proper gust. You just need to be lucky and get it. It's cool. It's like kind of like the waves. Sometimes the waves comes for you and sometimes it doesn't. Same with the gust. Sometimes you get the gust, sometimes you don't. But that's a cool thing about the wing as well, is that you just need that one gust, and then till you don't fall again, you don't really need it anymore.
Yeah, and you can see here on the inside section of the competition area, there are some bald spots, meaning that the wind is starting to drop down. But then also all the way out the back, when they make it to the edge, like you say, as long as they're up on their board and kind of flying and planing on the foil, you can kind of ride straight through those and just enjoy the wave. At the moment, in first position, we have Camille, and in second position, Miso. Very close in between these two, because Miso for that last wave, 5.70.
Yeah, the first section was really good. It was decent size, and well, Linden, I think they kind of dropped quite a bit of the scores when he was about to fall at that point, and he kind of had to get a bit out of the wave to get back on track. So that maybe could have been over 6, but just for that little almost crash, dropped quite a bit. But he's on another wave now.
Yeah, it was a shame he had a little fumble there, because that was looking like another one. But Miso keeping himself very busy, and he is actually catching a lot of the rides all the way on the top right hand corner, because the tide is starting to be very low, and we are getting to that 6:30 mark, which was at the moment is where Dakhla starts to get even more fluky, the 6:30 alarm clock. So we are getting close to that, but hopefully it will be enough to finish off this heat. Just under 10 minutes left.
Yeah, that's also something I'm trying to learn from Miso. He kind of knows the wave even from the start that is gonna finish on the sandbank. Like I have a hard time personally to find that first wave with a decent size and know that it's gonna still work on the last sandbank. And in my heat, that's what he did better than me. He really like connected the last sandbank, and yeah, that's really cool to see how he's been managing to do it all over the comp.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, of course, he has a lot of surfing experience. You know, reading waves, it is an art. You can see a lot of the more veteran riders on all the different tours that have waves involved. They can, you know, kind of have a sixth sense for that energy, and especially when conditions are marginal, like we've seen here in Dakhla, wave selection is key.
Yeah, wave selection is key. Look, for example, he didn't even went back to the peak. He got one that was totally on the left side, like on the outside, and those ones really work good on the sandbank. So let's see how he's gonna deliver the last few turns.
Yeah, he's now coming right in front of us here on the stream booth. Give us some popcorn, a cold one, and we can just enjoy the show, Jerome.
Yeah, we definitely not gonna. We know that it's not gonna be an air, but there's gonna be radical turns.
Yeah. And there we can see, okay, Camille at the moment still in the lead. So Miso is going to need a 5.27. Not looking like he got that on the last one. So still just managing to keep that third position overall there for Camille, because we are fighting for the fourth and third position. Then we're going to be going down to the beach and start with the beach podium.
Yeah. I don't know if you noticed, but Miso just went out of that wave and took another one right away. You can clearly see that he literally is here for having fun, rather than going totally at the back and look for a longer wave to get the right scores. He's here to put up a show and really like enjoy the surfing. So basically he just finished the wave and took the other wave on the sandbank rather than going back up, which is really cool to watch, that riders are here for having fun rather than focusing only on the winning part.
Yeah, I mean, you always got to have fun out there, and at the moment it looks like Miso is enjoying himself here for the last heat of the competition. Out there on what looks like a 6-meter wing. And what kind of foils are these guys using, Jerome?
I think the way around Camille is he's using a 900 at least. He's been using quite a small front wing the last few days, because you can see he's got sharper turns and more on the critical part, so you need kind of a small wing to go fast. I'm not too sure if he just changed because of such a light wind, but I don't think so. I think he's still on the 900. And then Miso was on 840 the whole comp, but since the wind dropped that much, he might just gone up back to 940 or even a bit higher. But yeah, the best is to have a foil that has quite some lift, and then try to keep it as small as possible to be able to go into the critical zone and get that speed, because you need smaller foils for the speed.
And this is looking like a very nice wave here on the inside for Camille. Had a couple really good, nice cutbacks, and this is the air. So here we have coming in with speed. Are we going to see a jump? Yes, we are. Frontside free. Can he land it?
Oh,
nice. And there's the claim, Jerome.
Ooh, that's so shallow there. Ah, yeah.
Very big frontside free there for Camille. Landing it in the shallows, pretty much just kind of like heading his fall into the sand. So obviously they're pretty damn strong there.
Yeah, you gotta take the risk. I mean, everyone knows there's almost no water there, but the last section, the section where the wave has more power. So, if, for example, the way he did the 360, he needed that wave to keep going. So he did at the right good spot and made it. It's pretty sick. I'm kind of curious what the scores are gonna be.
Wow, still waiting for those scores to be confirmed, but I'm looking at 7-point averages across the board. If that is so, he's going to start to have a comfortable lead over this man here, Miso. Miso, I love his style. He just chills, cruises and perusing. Just loosey-goosey all the way down the wave, and you can just see the pure surfing style.
Yeah. He's got an incredible style. In my opinion, I would love to see him like going a little bit more on the critical zone, because he's technical enough to be able to go over the critical part of the wave and like the pocket basically, and just make it out of there. But yeah, he really focused on the whole wave, on the fluidity of the wave, so that's why he's more on the carves and on the longer turns.
Yeah, I agree with you. He definitely does have the technique from the surfing to be able to hit the wave in that sweet spot. But also I think wind is quite light out there, so he's kind of deciding to go for more the flowy and see if the judges are going to give him the higher scores for that. But he is going to have to step up his game, because now he needs a 7.48 if he wants to take the win. As with that last wave, Camille with a 7.60 is in front.
Yeah, that was a well-deserved score. It's one of the first 360s we've seen on the comp. And yeah, it was, even with this wind, like, it's pretty impressive that he managed to do it. Like 90% of wingfoilers will not be able to just ride right now, because either you're on the wave or either you don't have no wind. So you really have to have your gear on point, have your breathing on point, because it's really like a lot of cardio. And yeah, it's pretty impressive that he managed to do these type of tricks with such a little wind. I think even if we had like maybe 30 knots in these type of waves, we could have seen backflips, bigger 360s and more airs. But since it's so light, it's still cool to see that it's possible to do 360s and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And in the end, that's why the format got changed up, because on that day number 1, when the wind was stronger, what we did is we had that freestyle element, meaning it was 2 waves counted out of 10 wave attempts, and then it was 1 best trick out of 5 trick attempts. And then as the wind went down, like you're saying, we turned to 100% waves, when the top 2 waves are the ones that are going to give you those scores.
Yep.
It must be hard to perform freestyle tricks in light wind.
Really hard. It's quite tricky, because you want, if it's so light, you want a bigger board and a bigger foil to land and then keep going. But then on the wave, you want the smallest board possible and the smallest foil possible, so you can carve and try to go as fast as possible. And then like, I personally just love riding a 3-meter wing, or 3-meter wing, 4-meter wing after 4. It's just tricky to do backflips and to do like bigger tricks. So yeah, it's just really tricky to ride a 6-meter and do freestyle, and then it's even trickier to ride a 6-meter and then have a full for the waves and then still do freestyle.
Yeah, you kind of gonna get to that middle ground, and coming all the way down the line here with just over 2 minutes left. This is a very nice wave from Camille. Some nice turns. Really like how he pushes out the tail and comes all the way back.
Go for another air.
Big. That was a much nicer air. I actually think I prefer that from the 360, because he did land completely back on the wave.
But as you can see, he really used the wing there. That's the cool thing about being a regular here. You can just like do the air and lay back and use the wing, which is kind of like right now like an advantage. But still, goofy footers, we have to figure out a way to do kind of the same airs. I think it's possible. We just need to take more time on these type of waves and see what we can do. But yeah, that was a cool air. It was a long one and still a clean landing, so definitely gonna be a higher score.
Yeah, looking like a higher score, 8.00 for that one. So judges really liking what they saw there, because now at the moment Camille Bouyer is winning by 5.10 and Miso is going to need a 9.90. So he is almost in a combination situation.
That's crazy. That's a insane scores. An 8 and a 7.6. Pretty impressive with this wind.
Yeah, I think the judges also are probably taking into account the conditions to make sure that, you know, the bar is set there, because obviously they know the guys can't go big in this kind of wind and these kind of ways. So if a person actually does achieve that, they're going to give them the extra kudos.
Yeah. It's crazy on this competition how important it was to be all round, because first day you needed to know how to do like a freestyle trick, and at least you needed to do like a backflip or a big 360 or something. And then the other days you need to know how to really be good in waves and then really be able to go into the critical point. And now today you really need to know how to ride on light wind, like proper light wind, and then having the right foil for such a, like the wave is not that as big as yesterday, and still be able to perform. It's basically been every day totally different conditions. I mean, the wave was pretty similar, but the rest it's super complicated to be prepared for everything. But it's cool because lots of riders have been prepared for it.
Yeah, and also, I mean, if you want to be on the top side of the ranking of the GWA, you have to be complete, like you say. You have to know that throw down in the good, the medium, and the bad, and you have to be able to perform the small, the medium, and the big tricks.
Yeah.
All that put together into one big mush is going to be the world champion, and we're going to be able to see that after the event in Brazil, because let's not forget, after this event here in Dakhla, we're going to be making our way over across the pond for the Brazil Super 4 final. And now let's see who is going to be the winner of this heat, because we're just waiting for a few confirmations to come in. Is it going to be that man, the Brazilian Miso, or is it going to be the Frenchman Camille Bouyer? We will find out very soon. And yep, it is. We're just waiting for a few more confirmations to come our way. And while we do, let's grab a quick break and we'll be right back with action with the beach podium here of the men. Okay, so there you can see, just waiting for all of the boys and the girls to come out of the water. What an action-packed afternoon it has been. And we're just going to jump out of the booth here for a second, because we are going to be making our way down to the beach. Jerome, thank you very much for joining me here once again in the stream, and looking forward to seeing you very soon.
My pleasure. It was fun to see the heats from the right spot. I love this place. You can see the whole section and the live stream at the same time. It's pretty cool. Thank you.
Thank you, Jerome. So, as I mentioned, we're going to be making our way down to the beach. Bear with us, because we are about to start the beach podium.
start off this ceremony first with the ladies. So in 4th position, coming all the way from France, Orane Ceris. Congratulations, Orane. Really good performance out there. In 3rd position, from the Czech Republic, we have Paula Novotna. Some very good surfing from this young lady, and I know she's going to be pushing hard next season. Now for the final. It was so close in between these two ladies. We could see it going down in the semis. Some of the biggest scores of the competition have been landed by both of these girls. But as they say, there can only be one. So in 2nd position, coming from the Netherlands, Bowien van der Linden. And now, that moment of the afternoon to crown our champion of the GWA Wingfoiling World Tour event here in Dakhla from the US of A, Fiona Wylde. Watch out for the foil. Watch out for the foil. Okay, everybody, one more time. Please make some noise for your champions. Orane Ceris, Paula Novotna, Bowien van der Linden, and Fiona Wylde. There you can see the girls. Those are our champions just coming off of the podium here. Such a good level of the girls riding. And they've really been pushing the envelope. And now really looking forward to see the events coming on so far. So as we wait for the girls to come off of the podium, we are going to be starting with the men's final. Okay, so now we're going to be moving on to the men. Starting off, we had those 2 waves and that 1 freestyle move throughout day number 1. Then as the format changed, it went into 100% surfing here in Dakhla. If you want to be on top of the rankings, you have to be one of the most complete riders out there. And all 4 of these guys, our 4 top riders, have been throwing down from the very beginning. So, in 4th position here in Dakhla, coming from Brazil, Fernando Novaes. Yeepa! Congratulations, Miso. Incredible surfing, and I'm going to put a mention. That last heat, he was strapless, going full surf style, so much respect, my friend. Okay, so for 3rd position, with probably one of the biggest airs we've seen in the competition, from France, Camille Bouyer! Congratulations, Camille. I know that last one, you were liking what you did there with the 360. Congratulations. Okay, in between these two, we had seen a very big fight out there. It was close among the points. Surfing was what was making the difference. And it can only be one. So in 2nd position, here in Dakhla, we have also from France, Julien Bouyer. Congratulations, Julien. Both the brothers. I know the family is going to be happy up here on the podium. But our champion, the winner of the GWA Wingfoiling World Tour event here in Dakhla, also coming from France, Hugo Marin! Congratulations, Hugo. Très bien. So I give you one more time your champions, Fernando Novaes, Julien Bouyer, Camille Bouyer, and Hugo Marin. You can see the boys up here on the stream. Smiles left, right, and center. And now let's not forget also the Bouyer brothers taking on the stream. So congratulations to all of the riders. Incredible out there. Congratulations, everybody. Thank you very much. What a way to end off here. Day number 3. Already 2 podiums up there. But we are not done yet, as we are going to be continuing on with the racing tomorrow. So everybody, rest up, stay tuned, because there is more action starting tomorrow. Okay, so there it is, everybody. It is the end of the stream. So we are going to be closing off for today with a beautiful sunset. There we had the podium. Sorry about that, guys. So as I said before, we are going to be closing off the stream here, as that is the end of the GWA SURF-FREESTYLE event here. What a way to do it. Thank you very much, and we will catch you next time.